Hello, my name is Olof Edqvist, and I would like to talk to you a little bit about a program I've made and made available for purchase called an Assignment Digitizer. And this is a tool that is meant to make the administrative work around handling sort of handing out, archiving, uh, keeping assignments, make that easier for teachers. So simplifies admin around assignments. At least that's what it's meant to do. And whether or not it simplifies it for you, it will depend on how your practice looks like, what it is that you're doing today. Perhaps it does not simplify your practice, but perhaps it would allow you to do something that you're not currently doing. The way that this does this is basically by turning analog paper documents into digital documents, and doing that in a way that limits the amount of work that you as a teacher have to put into it. And the reason that I want to do that is because I believe there are a lot of benefits to paper assignments, so analog assignments. I personally believe that analog assignments, paper assignments, give better education outcomes, better learning outcomes. You might agree or disagree. I think, there is science that supports that, but then it seems to be science to support a lot of a lot of results. Probably there's science supporting that digital assignments are better as well. I believe that it's better with analog assignments because it allows the students to use their hand to write, and I think that way what they are writing is more likely to enter their long-term memory. Also, if I give out a paper assignment, then I don't have to require all the students to have their computer with them, which means that I don't have to worry about students running out of battery or the Wi-Fi going down or whatever else there might be that happens that will make the students unable to do their tasks. So we are less reliant on technology, or at least computers. Pencils and paper, of course, are also examples of technology. And perhaps the most important part, another reason that I'd rather not see my students with computers in the classroom, is that they tend to get distracted by what is going on their computers. We have a lot of, as I like to say, messy digital environments that our students inhabit. And obviously, if you want to learn, it is much better to do so in an ordered environment. That goes for physical environments, that goes for digital environments as well. And unfortunately, I think that oftentimes these are quite messy, and also even if you try to make them nice, the students will always bring their messes with them in the form of social media and what have you. So if there's no computer, then there's no risk of that, and these are some of the reasons that I prefer to give paper assignments. However, as a teacher, you quite quickly realize that dealing with paper and paper assignments and your corrected assignments as well, it brings its own set of difficulties. For instance, something that I struggled with was, should I keep my corrected assignment for myself and allow the student to see it perhaps only once, or they're able to see it in the classroom, or should I hand it out to the student? Because on the one hand, I would like to keep these papers because they represent data that I need to understand my students and their learning, and I might want to go back to that and look at different stages during the school year. But on the other hand, I want my student to have this document because I want them to be able to use it when they are reviewing a segment of the course, or when they are preparing for tests and so on. So that's an issue. It's also an issue that keeping, if you want to keep the tests, then keeping them in a way that they are available to you means, organizing an archive for these tests, and that in a physical space that takes a lot of work. So there are some clear benefits to having digital assignments as well, especially when it comes to this sort of administrative work. So first of all, we have easy to organize. I mean, it's annoying to have to move files into folders and so on the computer, but it's a lot less annoying than having to punch holes in paper and put it into the binder and open the binder to the right place and then put it in the right place and then get to the next one and punch a hole and so on. So easy to organize, relatively persistent. If you take a backup, especially of your files, then you can trust pretty well that they're going to be there the next time you look. Whereas paper systems, and especially if you want the students to have access to them, it can be very difficult to ensure that the files that you believe are in a certain place stay there. Also it's, the answer to my conundrum there, how can I have a copy and the student have a copy, is to copy. And you can do that, but it is also more difficult in the physical space. You have to actually go to the copy machine and take a copy for each test, and it's much easier on the computer to copy a file. So essentially what I wound up thinking was that I would really like to give the students an analog test, but then I would like to have a convenient method of turning that analog assignment into a digital assignment. And that's where this program comes in. Well, basically, how to turn a paper assignment into a digital assignment, I think you're all aware how to do that. You scan it. So that I haven't invented scanning. But the problem with scanning is that you end up with, let's say you scan 15 tests. Well, you end up with a PDF file or some other type of file which contains all these 15 tests. And now you have to split them up and name them and do all this work, and that's quite annoying. So that to me became quite prohibitive. I didn't start doing this. So instead I started working on this program to simplify that. So basically what the value proposition of this program is that it enables you to have a system like this where you give analog assignments, you turn them into digital assignments, but it reduces the amount of work that you have to do that to the point where this is actually achievable. So let's see here, benefits. First, benefit the first is reduces work needed to organize scanned documents. That's really the heart of what this program does. And then I've also added a couple of bells and whistles so that the program also enables you to open and correct tests in OneNote. If you have a computer with a touchscreen, for instance, that can be quite good. Correct assignments in OneNote. It's available to you if you want to do that. And finally, it also contains a function that allows you to send an automatic email to students with the corrected assignment. So sends automatic email. Okay, so if this sounds interesting to you and you think that is something you want to learn more about, then you can check out my other videos where I explain how this all works. But this is the essential value proposition. Yeah. So thank you for your attention.